कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः स्तुष्ट्वागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्म विद्या संप्रदाय कर्तृभ्यो वंश ऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः। सर्वोपप्लवरहितः प्रज्ञानघनः प्रत्यगर्थो ब्रह्मैवाहमस्मि ब्रह्मैवाहमस्मि। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। ॐ मंत्र नंबर 6। वेदांत विज्ञान सुनिश्चितार्थाः वेदांत विज्ञान सुनिश्चितार्थाः संन्यास योगाद्यतयः शुद्ध सत्वाः संन्यास योगाद्यतयः शुद्ध सत्वाः ते ब्रह्मलोकेषु परान्तकाले ते ब्रह्मलोकेषु परान्तकाले परामृताः परिमुच्यन्ति सर्वे परामृताः परिमुच्यन्ति सर्वे। वेदांत विज्ञान सुनिश्चितार्थाः संन्यास योगाद्यतयः शुद्ध सत्वाः वेदांत विज्ञान सुनिश्चितार्थाः संन्यास योगाद्यतयः शुद्ध सत्वाः ते ब्रह्मलोकेषु परान्तकाले परामृताः परिमुच्यन्ति सर्वे ते ब्रह्मलोकेषु परान्तकाले परामृताः परिमुच्यन्ति सर्वे। What happens to a wise person after death? That is being discussed or revealed here by the Shruti. There is a popular belief that wise persons come back to bless the devotees. They come back to bless the Shishyas and they keep blessing the Shishyas. The Shruti is very clear. There is no coming back. When they are alive, having gained the Gnanam, when they are alive, they see whole world as nothing but one non-dual Brahman. Okay? They see oneness. So there is, and they realize that there is only one Satyam Brahma, and that is me. So they have fullness. So there is no question of coming back. There is no reason for them to come back. Individuality is not there. Who will come back? The individuality in this mantra, it will be told, is resolved into totality. So there is no question. Apparent individuality is resolved. The individuality is resolved even when the knowledge takes place, and therefore, after death, the apparent limitation is also gone. From onlooker's point of view, we think them, we see them as body-mind complex, an individual. But then, from their own point of view, they are very clear. They don't see themselves as a physio-psycho complex. And even when they are wielding the body, they are not body-mind complex. While wielding the body, they are not that individual. So individuality having been resolved, they were already free from any kind of limitations, and therefore, after death, that apparent limitations, that limitations caused by prarabdha also comes to end. Upadhi-wise, there was difference while the wise person was alive. Upadhi-wise, there was difference between one wise and another wise. Between one wise and otherwise, you can say, Swami would say. Upadhi-wise, there is a difference between them. And the Vyavaharik Bheda is accepted and he conducts according to Vyavaharik differences. But he or she knows that Vyavahar is mithya, and therefore these Vyavaharik differences are mithya. Mithya means apparent. Only from the body-mind complex there are differences. From the standpoint of the Vastu, that is me, there is no difference. That being a case, there is no question of a wise person taking a rebirth, because wise person is not there. Whom we call wise person is only that upadhi that we see, that we experience. But upadhi gets resolved into totality, and individuality is already resolved into totality. So there is no question of wise person taking a rebirth. There is no purpose for rebirth. There is no drive for rebirth. Nothing to drive him to take rebirth. Both ways, there is no drive to take rebirth, and there is no individuality or individual to take rebirth. The hankara, which is born out of ignorance, is no more there in the wake of knowledge. Whatever individuality is there is only with reference to physio-psycho complex. Exactly like an actor on the stage has an individuality. But that individuality is incidental. It is mithya. And therefore, and he knows his identity as to who am I. Similarly, wise person is aware or conscious about the self-identity, and the individuality is mithya. And therefore, that mithya individuality vanishes as though, comes to an end as though in the wake of prarabdha kshaya. In the wake of knowledge, the hankara is removed. In the wake of prarabdha kshaya, apparent individuality is gone. Shuddha sattvaha yatayaha sannyasa yogat vedanta vignan sunishchitarthaha bhavanti. Those with a pure mind, then those who are yatayaha, they are always striving. They are putting efforts, whose mind is free from tamas, and they, through sannyasa yoga, through life of sannyasa means commitment to Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana, that life of sannyasa, that life of Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana gives them what? Vedanta, Vijnana, Sunishchitartha. They have well ascertained the meaning of Vedanta. That means Aham Brahmasmi is their very certain knowledge. And that being a case, they are having well ascertained knowledge. What happens? Parantakale paramrutaha parimuchyanti sarve. They are paramrutas. They know themselves to be immortal and limitless. This paramrutaha parantakale means paras, ultimate end. Parantakala means parama kala. The kala that comes to an end as for the karma. Our antakala and vice person's antakala is antakala. He has antakala, body gets antakala. But then his antakala is called parantakala because our antakala brings new body. Jatasya hi dhruvo mrityuhu dhruvam janma mrutasya cha. So there is a rebirth always to take place, or for the person who dies, there is a rebirth. But for this wise person, since there is no rebirth, it is called Parantaka. It is called the Kala, which is where there is no rebirth. Ultimate end. Ultimate end means, why there is ultimate end? Because the rebirth is of Ahankara. It is the Ahankara who travels from one body to another body and takes with him the Sukshma Sharira. And that's how he goes. And here, the Ahankara not being there, just as the Sthula Sharira gets merged into Samasti Pancha Mahabhutas, of which it is made, so also the Sukshma Sharira, which is made of Sukshma Pancha Mahabhuta, that is held together by Ahankara. See, once the Jiva leaves, Ahankara leaves from this body, there is nobody to hold these Pancha Mahabhutas together. So Agni merges into Agni. Back into Samashti Pancha Mahabhutas. It was only the Jiva, the individual, who kept this together. Jiva, they left the body, he is not in the body, and therefore there is nobody to hold it together. And that is why it comes to an end as though it gets dissolved, it merges into Samasti. All the Bhutas get merged into Samasti Bhutas. So also, the Jivatma not being there, the Sukshma Sharira at the time of death also get merged into Samasti Sukshma Sharira. Because Sukshma Sharira was held together by whom? By that individual. And that individual is not there, and therefore that Antakala of the is called Parantaka. When the end comes, the apparent limitations also goes away. What happens to him? Parimucyanti sarve. Mucyanti, parimucyanti. There is no release, temporary release, like going to heaven, or temporary release, like getting into some samadhi, or temporary release in terms of having some experience, absorbing experience, wherein you are released from pain and dukkha and etc. This is parimucyanti. They become free for good. Paramrutaha santaha. They are paramrutaha. Paramrutam means Brahman. They being Brahman. free from mortality through Vedanta Vijnana. Where do they go? Brahmalokeshu parimachanti. They get freedom at Brahmaloka. Brahmaloka means Brahmaiva Loka. Brahma alone is referred as Loka here. So with Brahman, they get freed. Means though in the next mantra also it will come, they get merged into Brahman. This merging is like what? Like a pot space merges into total space when the pot is broken. Or the mirror, the sun in the mirror merges into the total sun when the mirror is broken. That sun, the sun was never away from the total sun. That kind of merging takes place. Okay. So Brahmalokeshu, it is in plural. And therefore there is no Brahmaloka. With that loka which we talk about, the field of experience, there are so many ways, all the plural. Sannyas yogat, sunishchitarthaha, yatayaha, suddha sattvaha. It is with reference to many Gnani, not many Brahman. The individuals are many, and the many of them become enlightened or wise, and therefore they are said to be free, many in plural. Now look at that next mantra. What happens? Seventh mantra. Gatah kalah panchadasha pratishtha. Gatah kalah panchadasha pratishtha. Devasya sarve pratidevatasu. Devasya sarve pratidevatasu. Karmani vijnanamayascha atma. Karmani vijnanamayascha atma. परे व्यये सर्व एकी भवन्ति. परे व्यये सर्व एकी भवन्ति. गताः कलाः पंचदश प्रतिष्ठाः. देवाश्च सर्वे प्रतिदेवतासु. गताः कलाः पंचदश प्रतिष्ठाः. देवाश्च सर्वे प्रतिदेवतासु. कर्माणि विज्ञानमयश्च आत्मा. परे व्यये सर्व एकी भवन्ति. विकर्माणि विज्ञानमयश्च आत्मा. परे व्यये सर्व एकी भवन्ति. पंचदशः कलाः गताः. Okay, the 15 aspects go back to their cause. Panchadashaha kalaha gachanti. Devascha sarve pratidevatasu pratisthitaha bhavanti. All the devaha is in a sense of sense organ. We'll explain why. All the sense organs go back to their presiding deities. Vijnanamaya atma karmani cha sarve pare avyaye eki bhavanti. Vijnanamaya atma means ahankara and karmani, all the karmas accumulated, sanchita, agami, etc. The eki bhavanti sarve, they all become one. With whom? Pare avyaye brahman. Pare means brahmani. They all become one with Brahman, which is not subject to end, which is not perishable, which is changeless. All the 15 aspects go back to their cause. all the sense organs go back to their presiding devatas, and the ahankara and its karmas, along with its karmas, sanchita karma, etc., become one with Pare. Pare eki bhavanti. They become one with Brahman. What is that Brahman? Avye Pare Brahmani eki bhavanti. That imperishable Brahman, that chainless Brahman, that Brahman which is not subject to birth and death. Tasmin, in that, Avye Brahmani, Pare, Para Shabda is for Brahman. In that Brahman, they go back, they merge. Okay? Please understand. This is the description of Videham. What happens to a wise person after death? What do we mean by Vimuchante Sarve? What is the process of Vimochana? Total freedom. Apparent limitations are also gone. What is that process? So, that process is being talked about here. See, this mantra has a reference to a Prashnopanishad mantra. Okay? It is in the Prashnopanishad, that's in the 6th section. The second mantra is there. You see, look at this. The name of the Upanishad is Prashnopanishad. 6 rishis approach the rishi called Piplada, and they said they served him. They said that we want to ask something, we have a question. Rishi said, you serve me first, do seva, and then I will give you permission to ask a question. Whether I'll answer or not, I don't commit. I will just give you permission to answer, to question me. Okay. Anyway, so 6 rishis asked 6 questions. And the last one is Sukesha. Rishi asked the question. He says, about the Purusha, he asked a question. Then the Rishi replies, Tasmai Sahovacha, Ihaiva Antasharire Saumya Sapurushaha, Yasmin Netaha, Yasmin Etaha, Shodashakalaha, Prabhavanti iti. Piplad say, Saeva Tasmai, Saumya Sapurusha, that Purusha, about whom I am going to explain you further. He Prabhavanti, he manifests along with Shodashakalaha. Sapurusha manifests here with Shodashakalaha. Where he manifests, Yaiva Antasharire. No? In this Sharira, in this body, the Purusha manifests himself with Shodashakalaha. Okay. Acha. And then he says, Yasmin etaha shodashakalaha prabhavanti. Yasmin sharire, this body itself. So there is one model. One model is Thula Sukshma Karana Sharira. Another model is Pancha Mahabhuta or a Panchakosha. Other model is Avasthatraya. This Rishi gives a model of Shodasha. 16 aspects. Here he says 15 aspects plus Ahankara. Vijnanamaya Atma is the 16th one. What are the 15th kalas? He explains, Prana, Shraddha, Akash, Vayu, Agni, Jala, Prithvi, Indriya, Mana, Annam, Viryam, Tapaha, Mantra, Karma, Loka, and Nama. I will repeat this 15 kala. Prana, 1. Second, Shraddha. Third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh, Panchamahabhutas. Akash, Vayu, Agni, Jala, and Prithvi. Then, Indriya, Manaha, Annam. Then, Virya, Tapa, Mantra, Karma, Lok. And Ahankara is called Nama, the 16th one. So these are Sodashakala. These 16 aspects of the individual, they come into being as an individual from totality. And when the knowledge takes place, all the 16 merge back into totality. Vyasti merges into Samasti. The Vyasti is derived from Samasti because of Ahankara. They are derived by Ahankara and for Ahankara. They again they merge into Samasti because there is no Ahankara left. This. Okay? In case of ignorant person, when he or she dies, one way of saying is he or she takes the Sukshma Sharira. Another way of saying is he takes all these kalas, 15 kalas. That fellow takes with it. Okay? Ignorant person goes along with samskaras and all these kalas. Wise person, in case of wise person, it gets dissolved here only. Understand? So, Gataf Panchadashak Kala Pratishtha. All the 15 kalas merge back into Samasti. To explain with an example, when there is an iceberg in an ocean, it is the same Samashti ocean appearing as iceberg. What creates an iceberg? The temperature, the cold. That is responsible for creation of iceberg. If the temperature is removed, what happens to iceberg? Iceberg merges to the ocean from where it came. Though this is a limitation of language. We have to say it merges to ocean, into ocean, from where it came. It has never come and it never goes, There is no coming and no going. But there is an apparent coming and apparent going. What has come is a shape, a form. And we give a name, iceberg. So if you say Utpatti, Utpatti is only of Nama Rupa. And since there is only Nama Rupa Utpatti, and that any Utpatti of Nama Rupa Utpatti is Mithya. When only Nama has come and Rupa has come, it is Mithya. So Utpatti is Mithya. So the death is also Mithya. Merging is also Mithya. The iceberg had not been born really, nor it really gets dissolved or merged into anything. It is only apparent Utpatti. And there is apparent Utpatti and therefore apparent dissolution. Okay? So we say Gataf Panchadasha Kalaha, as though gone. My Sukshma Sharira, as though merges into Samashti Sukshma Sharira. Sukshma Sharira was held together. Sukshma Pancha Mahabhutas and Pancha Pranas and Pancha Karmendriyani and Pancha Gnanendriyani and Antakarana was held together. They were held together because of Ahankara. An iceberg, that the pool of water is held together in a particular form of iceberg because of the temperature, because of the cold. So also here it is Ahankara that holds them together, and Ahankara not being there, they no more continue to be together. They as though go back to Samashti, totality. And therefore, Gataf Kalaha Panchadasha Pratishtaha. All the 15 aspects go back to their cause, namely Samashti. And Devasya Sarve Pratidevatasu. These Indriyas, sense organs of perception, sense organ of action, we have seen that in Tattva-bodha. These sense organs can work when they are blessed with their presiding Devata. We have seen Chakshusho Surya, Vajo Vannihi, Shrotrasya Digdevata. Digdevatas are Adhishtan Devata for Shrotra, Granasya Ashwini Kumarau, etc., etc. Devatas are blessing the sense organ for them to do their job in terms of comprehending the corresponding sense organs. Those devatas go back to Pratidevatas too. They go back to their sthanam. They means they're blessed. They go back to their sthanam. Means sense organs no more continue to be there. Acha. Karmani Vijnanamayascha Atma. Okay. Vijnanamaya. You know, this Vijnanamaya means in the sense of buddhi. Okay. Vijnanamaya Atma, that individual who has identified with Vijnanamaya Kosha. Buddhi. Tadhatma apannaha. That means Ahankara. Look at this. Since we have been given buddhi, we have Ahankara. Animals don't seem to have buddhi. They don't have Ahankara. Ahankara means there is no individuality sense as pronounced as we have. I am male, female. I am so and so, this caste and this subcaste, and reciting this, and doing this and that. All that individuality is there. Animals don't seem to have. We call that a dog as a German Shepherd, or a Labrador, or Pomeranian, or Chihuahua, whatever. A dog doesn't say, I am Pomeranian, I am Labrador, or I am Alsatian. Nothing. And no connection. Buddhi is a seat of Ahankara. Therefore, even a baby, when it is born, at the age of 2 or 3, between 2 and 3, Buddhi opens up. And the Buddhi opens up, that individuality comes up. I will do this, I will not do this. Ahankara is nothing but bundle of likes and dislikes. Baby has a pronounced yes and no. Pronounced preferences to do and not to do. Pronounced preferences to eat and not to eat. That is all ragadveshas, which is nothing but manifestation of Ahankara. Vijnanamaya Atma. That means Ahankara. And Karmanischa. That Vijnanamaya Atma means ignorant self. That individual which is endowed with self-ignorance, that fellow, he gets dissolved. At the time of knowledge itself, he is not there. After gaining the knowledge, there was incidental ahankara, mithya ahankara, called as badhita ahankara. There is an individuality, all right. But individuality is an apparent individuality. Again, I repeat, actor has an individuality on the stage, but that is incidental. Since he or she wields a particular dress, there is a particular role, so that particular actions, particular dialogues are necessary. So also wise person wields this dress. His body is a dress. Vasamsi jirnani yatha vihaya navani grunati naroparani tatha sharirani vihaya jirnani anyani sanyati navani dehi. We have seen this verse in Bhagavad Gita. Just as an individual changes the dress, so the body death is like changing the dress in a way for ahankar. So as long as this dress is there, for even for a wise person, there is an individuality for vyavhara, to conduct. As long as I am alive, how long I am going to be alive? As long as there is my prarabdha. Whatever is my destined longevity, and whomsoever I have to meet, and whatever experience I have to go through, they will come. To deal with that experiences, there is an experiencer, individual, even after the knowledge, that is incidental experience. People think there is individual. You know, the people, onlookers in a drama or theater think that that actor got pauper, or he lost the wife, he lost the kingdom, or he won the kingdom and got married, happy, they become happy. But it looks to an individual to us. The actor knows, I am not a beggar, I am not this. That is self-negated. It is a badit ahankara. And that badit ahankara, vijnanamaya atma, karmanischa, all his karmas will come to an end. They will become one. Eki bhavanti pare brahmani. They become one in Brahman. How do you say one in Brahman? You say Brahman doesn't have any karmas. Brahman doesn't have any karma phalas. Naiva kinchit karoti. Where, how can the karmas become one with Brahman? And they becoming one with Brahman means that Maya by the Brahman, samashti, wise person's karmas get merged into samashti. Not nirguna Brahmani. The karmas get merged into samashti karmas. And pare avyaye eki bhavanti. That individuality becomes one with Brahman. It is said bhavanti. There is no becoming one with Brahman, because the fellow already knows, I am one with Brahman. Even when the body is there, even when there is an apparent differences are there, even when there is apparent individuality is there, this person knows, I am not an individual. I am Brahman. I am that limitless vastu. It is like exactly like a pot space, an enlightened pot space. Enlightened pot space means the pot space who knows that I am space only. I am not a pot space. It is incidental. Pot spaceness is incidental from the standpoint of walls of the pot. By nature, I am the space. To realize I am the space, you require space here. The pot space fortunately had the space to realize that I am the space, and that I, being a pot space as of now, 5 liter space, is an apparent from the standpoint of view of the pot. Similarly, from the standpoint of view of the body-mind complex, I am male or female. I am so and so. I know this much and I don't know this much. I have this much knowledge and I don't have this much knowledge. They all apravidya. It is only with reference to physio-psycho complex. But by nature, I am limitless. With the walls of the pot, the space says I am 5 liter space. But from the standpoint of the space per se, I am not within the pot. Pot is within me. Pot is within the space. People say that you are within the pot, apparently. But there is no pot, there is no space within the pot. Actually, the pot itself is within the space. Similarly, Atma doesn't merge into totality. It was already one with the totality. Apparent division from the standpoint of the physio-psycho complex is no more there for him because the death has taken place. And karmas also come to an end because there is no locus for karmas to fructify. For karmas to give result, that ahankara is gone, and therefore karmani cha pare avyaye eki bhavati. Therefore karmas also become one with Brahman. In fact, the karma here means karma phalas. Okay? And karma phala primarily means sanchita karma. Samyak chitam architam iti sanchitam. Those karma phalas which they need to fructify. Those karma phalas become one with Brahman, meaning thereby he karmani akarmaya pashed akarmani cha karmaya. And the section gets concluded by the last verse, which we know is more relevant here. Brahmarpanam Brahma havihi Brahmagno Brahmana hutam Brahmaiva tena gantavyam Brahma karma samadhi. That is what here it is. Very, very okay. I think we'll take next mantra tomorrow. Okay. I have some meetings. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.